Hey loves, this is Sade from Third Generation Conjure. So if you are new here, welcome to our channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Sade, and I'm one of the owners of Third Generation Conjure. Third Generation Conjure is a spiritual company that specializes in spiritual supplies and services to help you on your spiritual journey. So before we go any further, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. Also, make sure to follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We also have a podcast, which is the Power Couple Podcast, but I will put all of those links in the description bar below. So for today's video, I wanted to come on and just do a brief video about spiritual cleansing. And in particular, I want to talk about the 13 Herbs Bath. So I posted some reviews lately, and I had some questions, particularly about 13 herbs. So I wanted to kind of go over spiritual cleansing and why it's so important to your spiritual practice. So now, if you know me, you know about I've always from day one talked about the importance of cleansing and protection in your spiritual works. You can look further on down the channel, and I have videos where I'm talking about it, but I wanted to come on and do a refresher because I haven't done a video in a while and just tell you how to spiritually cleanse and why it's important to spiritually cleanse. So, spiritual cleansing can be done in different ways, but for the purposes of this video, we're really going to stick with spiritual baths, or in the practice of hoodoo, what we call conditioned baths. So I want to kind of explain conditions, okay? When I say conditioned oils, conditioned baths. So I'll give you an analogy. So, kind of think of it like this. So let's say you and your friend are experiencing the same symptoms. You both have a headache and you go to the doctor, right? So you may have a headache and you get diagnosed because you have a headache because your blood pressure is high. Your friend over here has sinus problems, so they may have a headache because they have an issue with their sinuses. So now you both have the same symptom. The symptom is the headache, but you require different treatment, okay, because your conditions are different. So, you may be prescribed um, a blood pressure medicine because it's your blood pressure that's making your head hurt. And they may recommend maybe you change your diet or lower your salt intake or something of that nature. While your friend over here may be prescribed something for allergies or something to relieve their sinuses. So you both get rid of your headaches, but if you came in and took one of your friend's allergy pill when your condition was high blood pressure, it probably wouldn't work for you or have an adverse effect. So, you kind of get the analogy with that. So that's what we mean when we talk about conditions. That's why sometimes you may do a particular work and maybe your friend over here does the same work and you may just have different results. Okay. So, you have oils for particular conditions that have herbs that treat particular conditions, just like in the natural form, herbs heal things in the natural. Also, they have different spirits for things that are in the spiritual, metaphysical, if you will. So, like a spiritual healing bath or a spiritual healing oil, that's for the condition of healing, whether that's, I don't say physically, okay, but I have seen it, heal things that are physical. But, that's like spiritual healing. You got an uncrossing bath. An uncrossing is a condition where you're removing negative energy. In the practice of hoodoo, we call it uncrossing, but you may hear it as unhexing or something along those lines. So, as a practitioner, I have come to a realization, especially when it comes to the 13 herb bath. So, as a practitioner, what do you do in any kind of practice? You practice, you learn, you evolve, you see what works, you see what doesn't, okay? And also with those conditions that I talked about, that's why divination is so important. So you can really find out the root to your problem and you can kind of tackle it head on, okay? But what I have also noticed as a practitioner, um, just working with hundreds of people, um, I always tell people when they come in, start with a 13 herbs bath and, you know, follow up with fire wall of protection. And when I have a new client and they go through this, especially when they're not spiritually strong, a lot of time their life may be in shambles. But what I have come to realize is everyone may not be able to handle a 13 herbs bath, okay? Especially if you're not where you need to be spiritually, okay? Because a 13 herbs is a bath that you take consecutively for 13 days, and that teaches you consistency as well, which I talk about all the time, being consistent in your work. But sometimes it may be a little bit too potent and too strong, and some people may need to be baby stepped, okay? So, when you look at a 13 herbs bath, that's a bath that is done for cleansing, for protection, for healing, and also for uncrossing. So it has many properties, which is why I like it so much. Okay, like I love an uncrossing bath, but the 13 herbs just kind of gives you like the whole shebang at one time. But like I said, if you're spiritually weak, this may be a bath that may be brutal for you. Okay, you may get sick. You may end up like feel like your life is in shambles because it's going to purge anything that you don't need. Okay. And that's also like with protection work. I tell people all the time, even with protection, if you see relationships and things start falling apart, it's normally something that's not beneficial for your growth. Okay. So, I'll tell you just what I see as far as the 13 herbs and how it works. Okay. Once again, like I said, if you're doing some heavy uncrossing, you're going to take that in a span of 13 days. Spiritual baths you typically take for 3, 7, 9, or 13 days. So, the first day you may feel rejuvenated. You may feel like a weight has been lifted off of you. Okay. And this is kind of like sometimes that first day will trick you. But usually that's a feeling that someone who doesn't cleanse very often that they normally get. Okay. Now, someone who does cleanses and they're really into spiritual things and they're doing spiritual work and they work with a lot of energy, usually the first day you may get sick physically. Okay. And that's also a symptom when you're going through spiritual healing. Like I've told people too, I've seen people go through spiritual healing and some type of underlying condition may flare up that they may not know about, which causes them to go get treatment for that condition. So a lot of times it's not always pretty, but it's something that you need to know about and you need to be aware about so that you can address it. Okay. So like I said, usually the first day I see people, some people may get sick. Some people may feel drained, but usually the first day, a lot of people feel like they're rejuvenated. They feel calm, like things have been lifted off of them already. Okay. About around the fourth or the fifth day, it may seem like a lot is going on. Okay. So it may seem like it's chaotic. And then you may be like, I can't do it today. I need to put this off until tomorrow. But you want to stay consistent no matter what's going on. Because usually when you're trying to purge something negative off of you, it's like that negative energy wants to keep hold. So it'll make things happen in your life so that you can stop that process. So, if you like, oh, I done had so much to do today. I need to chill out. Just make sure that you keep going, okay? Also, what I tend to see around like the fourth or fifth day, like I said, it's a lot going on. Around maybe like the sixth, seventh, eighth day, um, you may be kind of agitated. It's just a lot of agitating energy, a lot of type of chaotic type energy. It doesn't mean something bad is happening. It's just like everybody might be getting on your nerves. You know, that's the type of energy that it holds. Around the ninth or 10th day, you may kind of be in your feelings. So you might be feeling bad about something. You may be reminiscing on things that happened in your childhood, things that happened in your past. This is kind of like purging those things, bringing it to the forefront because we all talk about your thoughts become things, okay? But and I believe it's important to think positively, but that's not always going to be the case. In order to heal from something, you have to know about it, right? So there may be things that you push back into your subconscious that you just don't know about. Maybe your fear of speaking came from something that your mom said when you were a little kid, and you just never thought about that and you never saw that as a trauma because it's not traumatic in a sense where people talk about trauma, like being raped or being beaten or something like that. And you think like, that's not trauma because I didn't go through all of that. My parents didn't do that to me, but in actuality, it really is trauma. So you may have things like that come up around like the 9th, 10th, 11th day. Okay, so some people have around like the 11th, 12th day, they have like anxiety or they feel like just like really anxious, but just make sure that you keep pushing through. And then by the 13th day, and by the time you finish, it seems like a weight has been lifted from you. Okay, so that's just kind of a synopsis, and your results may be different and what you go through may be a little bit different. But I think sometimes when you're not spiritually strong yet like you should be, it's easy to get like distracted and get to the second, third day and just give up and just forget about it. Okay. So I do want to also stress when you are doing cleansing of any kind, you are removing something or you're stripping it when you're cleansing. It's like we had a podcast where Mama was talking about uncrossing, and she was basically putting an analogy where if you go into a shower and you take a shower, you're stripping all that dirt, the earthly dirt off of you. But when you get out, what happens? A lot of times your skin is dry. You have to replace that moisture in your skin, okay? And that's the same thing with conditioned oils, okay? So, like I stated, anytime you're cleansing, you're stripping energy. Like if you're doing a money cleanse, for instance, that's still a spiritual bath. If you're doing a money drawing bath, that's still a spiritual bath. You're stripping any kind of energy that hinders you from bringing that money into your life. Okay, so when you strip, you want to replace it. So even if that's getting out of bath and you're anointing with money drawing oil to layer that working, or even if you're just getting down and you're layering with protection to keep your energy protected and clear, because you can get it off, but the goal is for you to keep it off, okay? And for nothing to penetrate that energy. So, you can actually use protection to anoint with every bath. Like I stated, you can also layer. So if you're doing a prosperity bath, you can do a prosperity oil, uncrossing bath, uncrossing oil, etc. But I normally tell people, like with uncrossing work, to follow up with something like a protection oil as well. Road opener cleanse. You can use a road opener oil to layer your work. And I hope that makes sense. But this also applies to when you are cleansing your home, okay? So I tell people a lot of times I like ammonia because ammonia is a powerful stripper. It's good to neutralize energy and strip energy from your home, strip negative energy. It's just overall a stripper of energy, okay? So, you're neutralizing that energy, so you want to put it back and you want to replace it. So what are you going to do? You're going to take your floor wash, whether that's Van Van, and you're going to replace that energy that you just stripped from that home, whether that's using your conditioner oils in your water to put that replacement, whether that's laying down your protection powder or your protection salt or black salt or anything of that nature, okay? Also, when you are using a spiritual cleanse, you're working with the element of earth, okay? And you're also working with the water element as well, because you're using, water to take your spiritual bath. Water holds memories as well. So when you're praying over that bath, you're praying a psalm, you're speaking intention, that's holding that memory as well. Also with also with salt as well, which is a great spiritual cleanser, which is, with us in all of our baths. If you do decide to do a ritual, like I tell everyone, if you're going to be doing work, you need to cleanse before you start doing any kind of work, to make sure that you have clear energy so nothing will get in the way of that work manifesting, okay? That's why I tell you with every ritual to make sure that you're taking some type of spiritual cleanse as well. But even if you decide that you're going to do work, you can also incorporate other elements. So you got your earth element with your bath and your water element as well. Then you can also do something with the element of air, whether that's incense, whether that is using some type of smudging. A lot of people like sage. I personally like something like rosemary. Whether that is using like your powder to blow powder. That's the purpose of the powder. It acts as an air element as well, but it's also an earth element because it has herbs as well. Then you got your fire element, which comes with, if you're burning a petition, if it comes with your burning candle, your candle work, that's your fire element, okay? Also, with something like words, speaking over your home, speaking over your work, speaking affirmations, that's the element of air as well, okay? And I just wanted to put that in this video too, because a lot of people get stuck on one particular element when you need to be utilizing all of the elemental spirits as well. So, like our shop offers a large amount of products because we're catering to every element. So we don't just sell candles because we're not stuck on just the earth. I mean, we're not stuck on just the fire element and the earth element with the herbs, okay? Because if you're doing a dressed candle, you're using the fire element, using the earth element if it's dressed, okay? So we don't want to just be stuck on one particular element, okay? We have conjure waters, which uses the water element. We have powders, which uses the earth element. And if you're blowing it or something of that nature, you're using the air element. We have the spiritual baths, once again, which is the earth element, utilizing the water element, because you got to have water to take this spiritual bath and this spiritual cleanse. We have the conditioned oils, which the conditioned oils caters to the elemental and the earth element, okay? So, I hope this kind of clears it up. And I didn't want to make this video too long, but I did want to come on and just clear up some questions that I've been asked and just come on and talk to you guys because it's been a minute. But if you have any kind of questions or anything, make sure that you reach out to us on social media. Also, if you need any kind of spiritual supplies or services, make sure that you visit that link that I have put in the description bar below, and it has all of our links included to our social media platforms, also to our website and our Etsy shop. And make sure, once again, that you like and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.